sweating like that kid who was tried.
I think they'd at least air condition the place. I almost dropped dead in court. My taxes are high enough. This should go fast anyway.
Yes, it is hot. Okay, folks, everyone's here. If there's anything you need, I'll be right outside. Just knock.
Did she lock that door?
Yes, she did.
What do they think we are, crooks?
Well, they locked us up for a little while.
Yeah, and then they locked that kid up forever, and that's okay by me.
I never knew they did that.
Of course they locked the door. What did you think?
I just didn't know. It never occurred to me. Shall we all admit right now that it's hot and humid and our tempers looking short?
It's been a pretty hard week.
I feel just fine.
I wonder what's been going on down at the office. You know how it is in advertising. In 6 days my job would be gone and the whole company wouldn't. They're not going to like this.
Well, just figure it as our duty.
I didn't object to doing my duty. Just to mention I might not have a job when I get back.
Why don't you ask her to hire you? She's rich. Check out that suit.
Is that custom tailor?
Yes, it is.
I have an uncle who's a tailor.
How's he doing?
Not very well. You know, a friend of his, that's a friend of my uncle. Well, he offered to be on this jury in my place.
Why didn't you let him? I would have done anything to get out of this.
And get caught or something? You know what kind of a fine he paid for that? Anyway, this friend of my uncle was on a jury once about 10 years ago in a case just about like this one.
So what happened?
They let him off, reasonable doubt. And you know, about 8 years later, they found out that he had actually done it. A murderer, a guilty man was turned loose on the streets.
Well, did they get him?
They couldn't.
Why not?
A man can't be held in double jeopardy. Unless it's a hung jury, they can't try a man twice for the same crime.
That isn't going to happen here.
6 days. Should have been over within 2. Talk, talk, talk. Did you ever hear so much talk about nothing?
Well, I guess they're entitled.
Everyone gets a fair trial. That's the system. Well, I guess you can't argue with it.
How'd you like that business about tonight? Did you ever hear one of your stories?
Well, you've got to expect it. You know what you're dealing with.
He bought a switch knife that night.
Then he lost it. A hole in his pocket, a hole in his father.
An awful way to kill your father. A knife in his chest.
Well, look at the kind of people they are. You don't know.
What's the matter? You got a cold?
Ooh, these hot weather coats will really kill you.
Yeah, I had one last year. Well, I was on vacation too.
All right, people, how about taking seats?
Right. This better go fast. I've got tickets to cancer tonight. I must be the only guy in the world who hasn't seen it yet. Well, start the show.
How about sitting down? The gentleman at the window. How about sitting down?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's tough to figure, isn't it? A kid killed his father, bing, just like that. Well, it's the element. They let the kids run wild. Maybe it serves their brains.
There are better proofs than some emotion you might have. Perhaps a dislike for some group.
We all agree that it was hot.
And that our tempers will get short.
That's if we disagree. But this is open and shut. Let's get it done.
All right, now you people can handle this any way you like. I'm not going to make any rules. We can discuss it first and then vote, or vote now and see where we stand.
Let's vote now. Who knows? Maybe we can all go home.
Yeah, let's see who's winner.
Yeah, let's vote now. All right, let us vote.
Does anyone object?
That was easy.
All those voting guilty, please raise your hand. 8, 9, 10, 11. Not guilty?
Hey, you're in left field.
The vote is 11 to 1. 11 guilty, 1 not guilty. Now we know where we stand.
Do you really think the kid's not guilty? I don't know.
After 6 days, he doesn't know? In 6 days, I could learn calculus. This is ABC.
I don't believe that it is as simple as ABC.
I never saw a guiltier man in my life.
What does a guilty man look like? He's not guilty until we say he's guilty. Are we to vote on his face?
You sat right in court and heard the same things I did. The man's a dangerous killer. You can see it.
Where do you look to see if a man is a dangerous killer?
Well,
I would like to know. Tell me what the facial characteristics of a killer are. Maybe you know something I don't know.
Look, what is there about this case that makes you think the boy's innocent?
He's 19 years old.
That's old enough. He knifed his own father 4 inches into the chest. An innocent little 19-year-old kid.
I agree with you that the boy is guilty, but I think we should try and avoid emotionally colored arguments.
All right. They went over it a dozen different ways in court. Do you want me to list them?
No.
Well, do you believe that stupid story the kid told?
Come on.
Do you believe the kid's story?
I don't know whether I believe it or not.
Then what'd you vote not guilty for?
There were 11 votes for guilty. And it's not so easy for me to raise my hand and send a boy off to die without talking about it first.
Well, who says it's easy for me?
Or me.
Nobody.
The boy is just as guilty, whether it's an easy vote or a hard vote.
Is there something wrong because I voted quickly?
Not necessarily.
I think the boy is guilty. You couldn't change my mind if you talked for 100 years.
I don't want to change your mind.
Just what are you looking for?
I just want to talk for a while. Look, this boy's been kicked around his whole life. You know, living in a slum. His mother dead since he was 9. That's not a very good head start. He's a tough, angry kid. Do you know why slum kids get that way? Because we knock them in the head once a day every day. And I just think maybe we owe him a few words, that's all.
It's hard, sure. It was hard for me. Everything I've done, I fought for. I worked my way through college, and that was a long time ago. Perhaps you do forget. I fought, yes, but I never killed.
I know what it's like. I never killed nobody.
Just wait till you work for an ad agency and the big boy who buys the advertising walks in. We all know what it's like to be kicked around.
In my country, in Europe, kicking was a science. But let's try to find something better since then.
Look, I don't mind telling you this, mister. We don't owe the kid a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? Do you know what that trial cost? The kid's lucky he got it. Look, we're all grown-ups here. You're not going to try and tell us we're supposed to believe him, knowing what he is. I've lived among them all my life. You can't believe a word they say. You know that.
I don't know that. What a terrible thing for a man to believe. Since when is dishonesty a group characteristic? You have no monopoly on the truth.
All right, it's not Sunday. We don't need a sermon.
But what this man says is very dangerous. I don't see any need for arguing like this. I think we ought to be able to behave like adults.
Right.
All right, if you insist.
Thank you.
Sure.
Now, if we're going to discuss this case, why, let's discuss the facts.
I think that's a good point. We have a job to do. Let's do it. If you people don't mind, I'm going to close the window. It was blowing on my neck.
If you don't mind, I'd like to have the window open.
But it was blowing on me.
It's summer, it's hot. Don't you want a little fresh air?
I was very uncomfortable.
There are 12 of us in this room and only one window if you don't mind.
I have some rights too.
So do the rest of us.
Couldn't you trade chairs with someone down here?
All right. I will open the window if someone would trade this with me.
Take my chair.
Thank you. I think we should get back to the case.
Yeah, let's get going here.
I may have an idea here. Just thinking out loud now, but I think that it's up to us to convince this gentleman that we're right and he's wrong. Maybe we should all try talking for a minute or two. You know, give it a shot.
That sounds fair.
Very fair.
Supposing we go once around the table.
All right, let's start it off.
We'll start with you at the end. Oh. Well, I just think he's guilty. I thought it was obvious.
In what way was it obvious?
I mean that no one proved otherwise.
Nobody has to prove otherwise. Innocent until proven guilty. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The defendant doesn't have to open his mouth. That's in the Constitution, the Fifth Amendment. You've heard of it?
Everyone has.
Of course I've heard of it. I know what it is. What I meant. Well, I just think he's guilty.
No reasons, just guilty. There's a man's life at stake here.
All right, let's get to the facts. Number 1, let's take the old man who lived on the 2nd floor, right underneath the room where the murder took place. At 10 minutes after 12 on the night of the killing, he heard some loud noises in the upstairs apartment. He said it sounded like a fight. He heard the kid say to his father, "I'm going to kill you." A second later, he heard the body falling. He ran to the door of his apartment, looked out, and saw the kid running down the stairs and out of the house. We went back inside and called the police, and they found the father with a knife in his chest.
And the coroner fixed the time of death to be around midnight.
Right. Now what else do you want?
It doesn't seem right.
The boy's entire story is flimsy. He claimed he was at the movies. That's a little ridiculous, isn't it? He couldn't even remember what picture he saw.
He didn't have any ticket stub,
But who keeps a ticket stub from the movies?
That's true enough.
I suppose. But the cashier didn't remember him.
And the ticket taker didn't either.
Hey, what about the woman across the street? If her testimony don't prove it, then nothing does.
That's right, she saw the boy stab his father. She saw it.
All right, let's go in order.
Now wait a minute. Here's a woman who can't sleep. It's hot, you know? Well, she gets up and looks out her window, and she sees the kid stick a knife into his father.
How could she really be sure that it was the boy when she saw it through the windows of a passing L train?
Well, she's known the kid all his life. And his window's opposite hers, across the L tracks. And she swore she saw him do it.
I heard her swear to it.
Well, they proved in court that you can look through the windows of a moving elevator train and see just what's going on the other side. They proved it.
Weren't you just telling us a minute or two ago that you can't trust them, that you can't believe them? Then I'd like to ask you something. Why did you believe her? She's one of them too, isn't she?
You're a pretty smart fellow, aren't you?
Now take it easy.
Come on, sit down. What are you letting him get you all upset for? Relax.
People, they did take us to the woman's room, and we did look through the windows of a moving elevated train, didn't we?
Yes, they did.
And weren't you able to see what happened on the other side?
I didn't see as well as they told me I would be able to see, but I did see what happened on the other side.
You see? Do you see?
Now let's calm down. It's your turn.
I'll pass it.
That's your privilege. How about you?
I don't know. I started to be convinced with the testimony from the people across the hall. Did they say something about an argument between the father and the boy around 7 o'clock that night?
I think it was 8 o'clock, not 7.
That's right, 8 o'clock.
They said they heard the father hit the boy twice, and then saw the boy walk angrily out of the house.
What does that prove?
Well, it doesn't exactly prove anything. It's just part of the picture. I didn't say it proved anything.
Anything else?
No.
I don't know. Most of it's been said already. I think we're just wasting our time.
I don't.
Neither do I. Go on.
Well, look at the kid's record. He stole the car. He was arrested for mugging. I think they said he stabbed somebody in the arm.
They did.
He was picked up for knife fighting, and at 15, he was in reform school.
And they sent him to reform school for stabbing someone.
This is a very fine boy.
Ever since he was 5 years old, his father beat him up regularly. He used his fists.
So would I. A kid like that?
You're right. It's the kids, the way they are. They don't listen. I've got a kid. When he was 8 years old, he ran away from a fight. I saw it. I was so ashamed. I told him right out, I'm gonna make a man out of you, or I'm gonna bust you up into little pieces, try it. When he was 15, he kicked me in the face. He's big, you know. I haven't seen him in 3 years, rotten kid. I hate tough kids. You worked your heart out and... Let's get on with it.
We're missing the point here. This boy, let's say he's the product of a filthy neighborhood and a broken home. We can't help that. We're not here to go into the reasons why slums are breeding grounds for criminals. They are. I know it, so do you. The children who come out of slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society.
You said it there. I don't want any part of it. Believe me.
I've lived in a slum all my life.
No, just a second.
I used to clean a backyard that was filled with garbage. Maybe it still smells on me.
Let's be reasonable. There's nothing personal here to talk
But
about.
there is something personal.
Come on. He didn't mean you. Let's not be so sensitive.
Who did he mean?
I can understand the sensitivity. All right, let's stop the bickering.
We're wasting time here.
It's your turn.
All right. I had a peculiar feeling about this trial. Somehow I felt that the defense counsel never really conducted a thorough cross-examination. There were so many questions that were never asked.
While that doesn't change my opinion of the guilt of the boy, still, defense counsel was bad.
So?
This is the point.
What about facts?
There were so many questions questions that were never answered.
What about the questions that were answered? For instance, let's talk about that cute little switch knife. The one that fine, upright kid admitted buying.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's get it in here and look at it. I'd like to see it again, Miss Morgan.
I think we all know what it looks like. We don't have to see it again. What do you think?
The gentleman has a right to see exhibits of evidence.
All right with me.
This knife is a pretty strong piece of evidence, don't you agree?
I do.
Now let's get the sequence of events right as they relate to the switch knife.
The boy admits going out of the house at 8 o'clock after being slapped by his father.
Or punched.
Or punched. He went to a neighborhood store and bought a switch knife. The storekeeper was arrested the following day when he admitted selling it to the boy.
I think we all agree it's a pretty unusual knife. Pretty hard to forget something like that.
The storekeeper said it was the only one of its kind that he had in stock. Why did the boy get it?
As a present for a friend of his, he says.
Am I right so far?
Right, you bet she's right. Now I want you to listen to her. She knows what she's talking about.
Next, the boy claims that on his way home, the knife fell through a hole in his coat pocket, that he never saw it again. Now there is the story. You know what actually happened. The boy took the knife home, went up to his father's house, and stabbed him with it. And even remembered to wipe off the fingerprints. Everyone connected with this case identified this knife. Now, are you trying to tell me that someone picked it up off the street, went up to the boy's house, and stabbed his father with it just to be amusing?
No. I'm saying that it's possible that the boy lost his knife and that someone else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It is possible.
Take a look at that knife. It's a very strange knife. I've never seen one like it before in my life. Neither had the storekeeper who sold it to the boy. Aren't you trying to make us accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
I'm not trying to make you accept anything. I'm just saying that it's possible.
And I'm saying it's not possible. What are you trying to do?
What is this? Who do you think you are?
Look, it's the same knife.
Quiet, let's be quiet.
Where did you get it?
I bought it at a junk shop around the corner from the boy's house. It cost $2.
Now you listen to me.
I'm listening.
You pulled a real smart trick in here, but you proved absolutely zero.
We didn't have movies.
Maybe he did go to the movies, and maybe he didn't. And he may have lied. Do you think he lied?
That's a stupid question. Sure you lied.
Do you?
You don't have to ask me that. You know my answer. You lied.
Do you think he lied?
Now, wait a second. What are you? The guy's lawyer? There's still 11 of us in this room who think the boy is guilty. You're alone. What do you think you're going to accomplish? If you want to be stubborn and hang this jury, he'll be tried again and found guilty sure as he's born.
You're probably right.
So what are you going to do about it? We could be here all night.
Only one knife. A man made the
Oh,
knife.
now, come
Well,
on.
yes, she's right.
How do you like this guy?
Well, what do you say? You're the one holding up the show.
I have a doubt in my mind.
But you haven't really presented anything to us that makes us understand your doubt. There's the old man downstairs. He heard it. He heard the kid shriek it out.
The woman across the L tracks. She saw it.
We know he bought a switch knife that night, and we don't know where he really was. At the movies.
Earlier that night, the boy and his father did have a fight.
The kid's been a violent kid all the way. And while it doesn't prove anything,
Still,
All right. I've got a proposition to make. I want you 11 people to vote by secret ballot. I'll abstain. If there are still 11 votes for guilty, I won't stand alone against it. We'll take in a guilty verdict right now.
okay, let's do it.
Does everyone agree?
I certainly am.
Yeah, let's roll it.
Perhaps it is best. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
That's 6.
Please. 6 guilty. 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 Not guilty. Guilty.
How do you like that?
Who was it? I think we have a right to know.
All right, who did it? What idiot changed his vote?
Is that the way to talk about a man's life?
Whose life are you talking about? The life of a dead man or the life of a murderer?
I want to know.
Who? So do I.
Excuse me, this was a secret ballot.
Well, no one watched while we did it, but now I want to know.
A secret ballot. We agreed on that point, no? If the individual wanted to remain a secret...
What do you mean? There are no secrets in here. I know who it was. What's the matter with you? You come in here and you vote guilty, and then this slick preacher starts to tear your heart out with stories about a poor little kid who just couldn't help but becoming a murderer. So you change your vote. If that isn't the most sickening thing.
Now hold it. I agree with you that the boy is guilty. But let's be fair.
Hold it? Be fair? That's just what I'm saying. We're trying to put a man into the chair where he belongs, and all of a sudden we're starting to pay attention to fairy
Now,
tales.
just a minute.
Now you listen to me!
Let's try and keep this organized.
This isn't organized, but at least let's try to be civilized.
Please, I would like to say something here. I've always thought that the person was entitled to have unpopular opinions in this country. This is the reason I came here. I wanted the right to disagree.
Well, do you disagree with us?
Well, usually I would. In this one case, I agree with you. But the point I wish to make is that in my own country, I am ashamed.
Oh, now, what do we have to listen to? The entire history of your country? Come on.
It's always wise to bear in mind what has happened in other countries when people aren't allowed to disagree. But we are, so let's stick to the subject.
Yeah, let's stick to the subject. I want to ask you, what made you change your vote?
So do I. You haven't told us yet.
What makes you think I did change my vote?
Because I do. Now get on with it.
There's nothing for her to tell you. She didn't change her vote. I did.
I was going to tell you, but you were so sure of yourself.
Sorry. Okay now.
Maybe you'd like to know why.
Let me tell you why that kid's a rotten piece
Let
of
the
trash.
woman talk.
This gentleman chose not to stand alone against us. That's his right. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone, even if you believe in something very strongly. He left the verdict up to us. He gambled for support, and I gave it to him. I want to hear more. The vote is 10 to 2.
Oh, fine. If your speech is over, let's go on.
If there was anything in this kid's favor, I'd vote not guilty. I don't see what it is. Neither do I. Their question is strong.
As guilty as I get, that's the kid, I suppose.
It's that one juror that's holding up. But he'll come around. He's got to. Fundamentally, he's a very reasonable man.
I suppose so.
What does guilty beyond a reasonable doubt really mean?
What's a reasonable doubt?
Exactly. When a man's life is at stake, what is a reasonable doubt? You've got to have law and order. You've got to draw the line somewhere. If you didn't, everyone would start knifing people.
Not much doubt here.
2 people think so. I wonder why. I really wonder why.
You know, we do hear stories about innocent men who have gone to jail or death sometimes, and then years later, things turn out.
Yeah, but on the other hand, some murderers get turned loose on the streets, and they go and do it again. They squeeze out on some technicality, and they go and kill again.
Look, now that we've kind of cooled off, well, I was a little excited a minute ago. I didn't mean to get nasty. It was nothing personal.
Look, supposing you answer this. If the kid didn't kill him, who did?
As far as I know, we're supposed to decide whether or not the boy on trial here is guilty. We're not concerned with anyone else's motives here.
I suppose, but who else had a motive?
The boy's father was along in years. Perhaps no grudge.
Remember, it is guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That is an important thing to remember.
Everyone's a lawyer. Supposing you tell us what your reasonable doubts are.
That's not easy. So far, it's only a feeling I have. A feeling. Perhaps something you don't understand.
No, I don't.
A feeling? What are we gonna do? Spend the whole night talking about your feelings? What about the facts?
You said a mouthful. Look, the old man downstairs, he heard the kid shriek out, "I'm going to kill you." A second later, he heard the body falling. And he saw the kid running out of the house 10 seconds after that.
Where's the reasonable doubt in that?
And the woman across the street, she saw the boy stick a knife in his father's chest. She saw it.
Well, that's not enough for you.
But it's not enough for me.
What is enough for you?
How
I'd
do
like to know.
How do you like this guy? It's like talking to a dead phone.
The woman across the L tracks said she saw them killing through the windows of a moving elevated train. The train had 5 cars, and she saw through the windows of the last 2 cars. She remembers the most insignificant detail.
Well, what do you have to say about that?
I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me.
Well, supposing you think about it. Lend me your pencil. Let's play some tic-tac-toe. Might as well pass the time.
This isn't a game.
Now wait a minute!
This is a man's life.
Who do you think you are?
Stay easy.
I got a good mind to walk over there and belt him one.
Now, please, don't get any fights in here.
Did you hear him? The nerve, the absolute nerve.
Calm down, it don't mean nothing.
How about sitting down?
This isn't a game. Who does he think he is?
Weren't we talking about moving elevated trains?
Yes, we were.
So,
How long would you say it takes an elevated train going at top speed to pass a given point?
what has that got to do with anything?
How long would it take? Guess.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
Neither would I.
I don't think they mentioned it.
What do you think?
About 10 or 12 seconds, maybe.
That seems like a pretty fair guess. Anyone else?
I should think about 10 seconds, perhaps.
About 10 seconds, yes. All right, we're agreed. 10 seconds. What are you getting at?
An L train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point. That given point is the window of the room in which the killing took place. You can almost reach out of the window of that room and touch the L, right?
That's right, I tried it. So,
Now let me ask you this. Have any of you ever lived right next to the L tracks?
I've lived close to them.
They make a lot of noise, don't they? I've lived right next to them. And when the window is open and the train is going by, the noise is almost unbearable. You can't even hear yourself think.
So you can't hear yourself think. Big deal. Get to the point.
The old man who lived downstairs said he heard the boy say, "I'm going to kill
He
you."
didn't say it, he screamed it.
The old man heard the boy scream, "I'm going to kill you." And 1 second later, he heard a body fall. 1 second. That's the testimony, right?
right.
So, the woman across the L tracks said that she saw the murder through the windows of the last 2 cars of the L train, right?
Right.
The last 2 cars. The last 2 cars.
What exactly are you giving us?
This. An L train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point, or 2 seconds per car. That car had been going by the old man's window for 6 seconds and maybe more before the body fell. According to the woman's testimony, he would have had to hear the boy say, "I'm going to kill you," with the front of an L train roaring by his nose. It's not possible that he could have heard it.
What do you mean? Sure he could have heard it.
With an L train going by,
He said the kid yelled it out.
an L train makes a lot of noise.
Well, it's enough for me.
It's enough for me, too.
I don't think he could have heard it.
Maybe the old man didn't hear it. I mean, with the L noise.
What do you mean? Are you calling the old man a liar?
Something doesn't fit.
Well, it stands to reason.
You're crazy. Why would he lie? What does he have to gain?
Attention, maybe?
You keep coming up with these bright sayings. Why don't you send one into a newspaper? They pay $2.
What does that have to do with a man's life? Why might the old man have lied? You have a right to be heard.
Well, it's just that I looked at the old man for a very long time. The seam of his jacket was torn under his arm. Did you notice that? This was an old man with a torn jacket, and he carried 2 canes. I think I know this man better than anyone else here. This is a quiet, frightened, insignificant
tell us he lied about a thing like this just so he could be important?
No, he wouldn't really lie. But he might make himself believe he heard those words and recognize the boy's face.
Well, if that isn't the most fantastic story I've ever heard. How could you make up a thing like that?
I'm not making it up.
You must be making it up. People don't lie about things like that.
He made himself believe he told the truth.
What do you know about it?
I speak from experience.
What?
I am just like that man.
I think we all understand now. Thank you.
If you want to admit to us that you're a liar, it's all right with me.
Now that's too much.
She's a liar. She just told us so.
She did not say she was a liar. She was explaining.
Did you or did you not just tell us that you're a liar?
Please. She was explaining the circumstances so that we could understand why the old man might have lied. There is a difference.
A liar is a liar. That's all there is to it.
Please, have some compassion.
People, please. We have our job and duty to do here. I think they've covered it.
I hope we have.
All right. Is there anything else? Copjack?
No, thank you.
Anyone want a copjack? All right, let's get on with it now.
I'll take one. Thank you. Now, there's one more thing I'd like to point out about the old man. I think we've proven that he couldn't have heard the boy say, "I'm going to kill you."
Well, I disagree.
Well, let's hear him through anyway.
But supposing he did hear the boy say it, this phrase, how many times has each of you used it? Probably hundreds. "If you do that one more time, Junior, I'm going to murder you." Or, "Come on, Rocky, kill him." We use it every day. It doesn't really mean that we're going to kill someone.
Don't the circumstances alter that somewhat?
The old man was murdered.
One more thing. The phrase was, "I'm going to kill you." And the kid screamed it out at the top of his lungs.
That's the way I understand
If
it.
anyone says a thing like that the way he said it, they mean it.
And how they mean it.
Well, then let me ask you this. Do you really think the boy would be stupid enough to scream out something like that for the whole neighborhood to hear? I don't. He's much too bright for that.
Right? He's a common ignorant slob. He ain't even speak good English.
He doesn't even speak good English.
The boy is clever enough.
I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
The vote is 9-3 in favor of guilty. I'd like to know why you changed your vote.
I believe there's a doubt.
Where? What is the doubt?
There's the knife.
Oh, fine.
He talked you into believing a fairy tale.
Go on. Give us the reasons.
Well, there's the old man, too. Maybe he didn't lie, but then just maybe he did. Maybe the old man just didn't like the kid.
Well, if that isn't the end,
I believe there's a reasonable doubt.
what are you basing it on? Stories that this guy made up? He had to write for Amazing Detective Monthly. He'd make a fortune. Listen, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? Why didn't the lawyer bring up these points?
Lawyers can't think of everything.
Oh, brother, you come in here and pull stories out of thin air. Now we're supposed to believe that the old man didn't get out of bed, run to the door, and see the kid beat it down the stairs 15 seconds after the killing?
That's the testimony, I believe.
And the old man swore to this. Yeah, he swore to it just so he could be important.
Did the old man say he ran to the door?
Ran why? What's the difference? He got there.
I don't remember, but I don't see how he could run.
He said he went. I remember it now. He said he went from his bedroom to the door. That's enough, isn't it?
Where was the bedroom again?
Down the hall somewhere.
Down the hall somewhere? Are we to send a boy off to die because it's down the hall somewhere?
You don't remember that? I thought you remembered everything.
I don't.
I don't remember either.
Miss Foreman, I'd like to see a diagram of the apartment, please.
Why don't we have him on the whole trial, or just so you get everything straight?
The apartment is down the hall somewhere. Do you know exactly where it is? Please, there's a life at stake. Do you know? Well, Miss Foreman.
I heard you.
All right, what's this one for? How come you're the only one in the room who wants to see exhibits all the time?
I'd like to see this one too.
So do I.
And I want to stop wasting time.
Are we gonna start wading through all this nonsense about where the body was found?
We're not. We're going to see if it's possible for an old man who's had 2 strokes in the past 3 years and walks a pair of canes to get to his front door in 15 seconds.
He said 20 seconds.
He said 15.
How does he know how long 15 seconds is? You can't judge a thing like that.
He said 15. He was very positive about it.
He was an old man. You saw that. Half the time he was confused. How could he possibly be positive about anything? Well,
No, I don't know. Maybe you know.
Is this what you wanted?
That's right, thank you. Sure, that's my job.
You want this?
Yes, thank you.
Do me a favor, wake me up when this is over. I've seen that stupid diagram for 2 hours. Enough is enough.
Some of us are interested.
some of us aren't.
All right. This is the apartment in which the killing took place. The old man's apartment is directly beneath it and exactly the same. These are the L tracks, the bedroom, another bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom. This is the hallway, and here are the stairs. Now, the old man said he got out of bed, moved into the hall, moved down the hall, and opened the front doors in time to see the boy racing down the stairs, right?
That's the story.
That's what happened.
15 seconds after he heard a body fall. Now, the old man's bed was by the window. The length of the room is 12 feet. The length of the hall is 43 feet 6 inches. Now, the old man had to get out of bed, get his keys, move 12 feet, open the door, move 43 feet, and open the front door, all in 15 seconds. Do you think that's possible?
You know it's possible.
I don't see why not.
He would have been in a hurry. He did hear the kid scream out.
He can only walk very slowly. They had to help him into this witness chair.
You're making it sound like it's a long walk. It's not.
For an old man who uses canes, it's a long walk.
What are you doing?
I want to try this thing. Let's see how long it took him. I'm going to pace off 12 feet, the length of the bedroom.
You're crazy. You can't recreate a thing like that.
Perhaps if we could see it. This is an important point.
It's a ridiculous waste of time.
Let him do it. I don't see any harm in it. Foolish, but go ahead.
Would you put that chair here, please? Now that will be the bedroom door. How far would you say it is from there to the door of this room?
I'd say about 20 feet. Just about.
Okay, 20 feet is close enough. Now, from there to the door and back is about 40 feet. But it is a little bit shorter than the hall the old man had moved through, wouldn't you say that?
A few feet, maybe.
This is absolutely insane. What makes you think you can do this?
We can't stop him.
Do you mind if I try? According to you, it will only take 15 seconds. We can spare that. Does anyone have a stopwatch with a second hand?
I have.
When you're ready for me to start, stamp your foot. That will be the body count.
What time you from there?
Now let's say he keeps his cane right at his bedside, okay?
Right.
I'm ready.
I want the hand to be at 60.
Speed it up. What's twice that
This is, I think, even more quickly since the old man walks into the courtroom.
No, it's not.
If you think I should move more quickly, I will.
Speed it up.
trying to get to the front door, heard someone running down the stairs, and assumed that it was the boy.
I think that's possible.
Assumed? Now listen to me, you people. I've seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day, but this little display takes the cake.
What dishonesty?
Tell him. You come in here with your heart bleeding all over the floor about slum kids and injustice, and you've got some soft-hearted old ladies listening to you. Well, I'm not. I'm getting real sick of you. What is the matter with you people? This kid is guilty. He's got to burn. We're letting him slip through our fingers.
Our fingers? Are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
Perhaps you'd like to pull the switch.
For this kid, you bet I'd like to pull the switch.
I'm sorry for you.
Don't start with me.
What it must feel like to want to pull the switch.
Shut up.
You're a sadist.
Shut up.
You want this boy to die because you personally want it, not because of the facts. You are a beast. You disgust me.
Shut up. Let me go. I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
You don't really mean you'll kill me, do you?
Is there anything wrong, folks? I heard some noise.
No, there's nothing wrong. You can take that back. We're through with it.
What are you looking at?
I don't see why we have to behave like children here.
Nor do I. We have a responsibility here. This is a remarkable thing about democracy, that we are, what's the word, notified. That we are notified by mail to come down to this place and decide on the guilt or innocence of a man. A man we have not known before. We have nothing to gain or lose by our verdict. This is one of the reasons why we are strong. We should not make it a personal thing.
Thank you very much.
Right, exactly.
We forget. It's good to be reminded.
I'm glad we're going to be civilized about this.
Well, we're still nowhere.
No, we're somewhere. Or getting there, maybe.
Maybe.
Who's got an idea?
I think maybe we should try another vote.
This woman?
Sounds fine to me. Anybody doesn't want to vote?
Let's vote.
Yeah, let's go. All right, let's do it.
I want an open ballot. Let's call out our votes. I want to know who stands where.
Are we all agreed then? All right, I'll call out your jury numbers. I vote guilty. Number 2, not guilty. 3,
Guilty.
4,
Guilty.
5,
Not guilty.
6,
Not guilty.
7,
Guilty.
8,
Not guilty.
9,
Not guilty.
10,
Guilty.
11,
Not guilty.
12.
Guilty.
That's 6 to 6.
I'll tell you something. The crime is being committed right here in this room.
The vote is 6 to 6.
I'm ready to walk into court right now and declare a hung jury. There's no point in this going on anymore.
I'd like to know why you changed your mind. And why you changed your mind. And why you did. There are 6 people here who think a murderer may be turned loose. Emotion won't do. Why?
It would seem to me that the old man did not see the boy run downstairs. Does that also seem likely that he heard the boy scream, "I'm going to kill you"? Old men dream. And even if he did hear the boy scream, "I'm going to kill you," then we have the authority of this man to prove he might not really have meant he was going to kill.
Why don't we take him to the judge right now and let the kid take his chances with 12 other jurors?
The vote is 6 to 6.
got to be unanimous, and we're never going to convince him.
At first I was alone. Now 5 others agree that there is a doubt.
You couldn't ever convince me that there's a doubt, because I know there isn't no doubt.
Maybe we are a hung jury. It happens sometimes.
We are not going to be a hung jury.
But we are, right now. A perfect balance. Let's take it into the judge.
If there is a reasonable doubt, I don't see one.
The doubt is there, in my mind. Maybe we should vote.
What do you mean, vote?
Not again.
I want to know, vote on what?
Are we or aren't we a hung jury?
You mean that we would vote yes, we are a hung jury, or no, we are not a hung jury?
That's just what I was thinking. We can't even agree about whether or not the window should be open.
Let's make it a majority vote. The majority wins.
You mean if 7 or more of us vote yes that we are hung jury, then we take it into the judge and tell him that we're hung jury?
Right, and if 7 or more of us vote no, that means we aren't a hung jury, and we go on discussing it.
It doesn't seem quite right to me.
It's the only solution.
I agree, this is the only way.
Anything to end this.
Does anyone object? I vote yes, that we are a hung jury. 2? No. 3?
Yes.
4?
Yes.
5?
No.
6? No. 7?
Yes.
8?
No.
9? No. 10?
Yeah.
11? No. 12?
Yes.
Oh, no.
The vote is 6 to 6.
We can't even get a majority to decide whether we're a hung jury or not.
I would allow the majority vote on this question. And I didn't agree with voting that way. Not really. And I still don't. So I'm changing my vote. I say no, we are not a hung jury. There are some things I'd like to find out from those people who change their minds.
Then we aren't a hung jury. So we go on.
Yes, we go on.
I'd like to know why you changed your mind.
Well, he seems so sure, and he's made a number of good points. While he only gets mad and insults everyone.
Does the anger and the insult change the guilt of the boy? He did, too. Are you going to let a murderer be turned loose on the streets because one juror gets angry when he thinks that might be done?
That's true. But there's a doubt.
I don't think so. The L track is straight in front of the woman's window. Let's take that point. So the L train would have made a low rumbling noise. L trains only screech when they go around curves. So the old man could have heard a scream, which is high-pitched. And it is a tenement, and they have them all.
Good, good. That's it, that's it.
And what if the old man was wrong about the time it took him to get to the door, but right about when he saw running down the stairs? Please remember, there were no fingerprints found on the switch. And it is summer, so gloves seem unlikely.
No, I want you people to listen to her. She's got the goods.
And it might have taken the murderer a few seconds to get a handkerchief out and wipe the fingerprints off.
This is a point.
Why don't we just time this one to see?
Just what are we tying?
Yes, let's be exact, please.
I'm saying that the old man may have been wrong about the time it took him to get to the door, but that he was right when he saw running down the stairs. Now, it may have taken the murderer 39 seconds to get a handkerchief out and wipe the fingerprints away, and get down the stairs to the place where the old man saw him. What?
This is right.
We reconstructed the old man getting out of bed and going to the door, and we timed that. Now, let's reconstruct the actual crime.
As well as we can reconstruct it.
I think that the man agrees on 39 seconds pretty easily at this point.
Let's reconstruct the killing.
Yeah, let's.
Why don't you do the stabbing?
No, I'll do it.
You be the one who gets stabbed. You're younger than I am. And remember, you take 1 second to fall.
And the old man is fallen on his side, his right side. So fall and roll onto your right side. If someone hates a person enough to want to kill that person, well, don't you think it's reasonable to suppose that the murderer may have looked at his victim for a second or two?
Divorce yourself from this particular case. Just human nature.
Yes, it seems reasonable.
Now, wait a minute. He fell and ended up on his right side, the father did. But stabbing someone isn't like shooting them. He probably would have worked around for a few seconds, lying there on the floor, writhing me.
That's quite possible. There would have been enough oxygen in his system to carry him on for 2 or 3 seconds, I should think.
What if the father had cried out?
Maybe the kid held his mouth.
That also seems possible.
Also, there's another point we might bring out. Anyone who is clear enough mentally to remember to wipe away the fingerprints away after murdering someone, well, that person is also clear enough mentally to look around the apartment, or room in this case, to see if there are any other clues. It would only be for a second or two, I should think, but still, he would look around.
This gets better and better.
We're trying to make it clear here. One doesn't talk quality when murder's involved.
About the son of fingerprints. Well, the kid wiped the fingerprints off the knife. What about the doorknobs? I saw a man coming into my home, a man that hated me. And if he was wiping off the doorknobs as he came in, well, that would give me a little uneasy feeling. So the boy must have wiped the doorknobs after the killing, and that too must have taken some time.
You timed the last one. Why don't you time this one, too?
All right.
Stamp your foot when you want me to start.
I want the hand to be at 60.
I'm going to kill you! You would have wiped both knobs.
Stop. 20, yeah, 20, 25, 29. About 29 and a half seconds, I'd say.
And whoever did murder the old man, and I think it was the kid, he still had to run down the hall and down the stairs. At least one flight of stairs.
You see? You see?
The old man may have been wrong about the time it took him to get to the door, but in view of this, I think he did see the boy run down the stairs.
So now both times signatures checked. The one you did and the one we did.
Except
What with running downstairs and everything, it does pretty much check out on time.
Sure, he's an old man who wants attention, but the old man feels the same way we all do. A life is at stake.
So the old man's story may well be true.
except for the fact that he absolutely swore under oath that it was only 15 seconds.
And we all seem to agree that it was at least 25 to 40 seconds later.
What you are now admitting is that the old man must have told the truth in one case, while he lied in the other case. I admit that this does tend to confirm the old man's story, but in part he's now a proven liar, and that is by your own admission.
That may be true that the old man lies in part, but I think he'll change my vote once more. Guilty.
What about you? What do you think now?
I don't know what to think. I want to talk some more. At first I thought guilty, then I changed my mind. Now I'm sort of swinging back to guilty.
And how about you?
No, I am now in real doubt. Real doubt.
I say guilty. I was right the first time.
Now we're starting to make some sense in here.
The vote seems to be about 9 guilty to 3 not guilty.
Now, I have one more question concerning the old man. How many of you here live in apartment buildings?
I don't know what you're thinking, but I know what I'm thinking.
What's that?
I do not live in a tenement, but it is close. And there is just enough light in the hallway so that you can see the steps. No more. The light bulbs are so small. And this murder took place in a tenement. Remember how we all stumbled on the steps?
Right. The police were using flashlights and big bulbs. Remember?
An old man who misjudged the time by 20 seconds. On this we all agree. This old man looked down the dark hallway of a tenement and recognized a running figure.
He was 100% wrong about the time. It took twice as long as he said it did.
Then could not the old man have been 100% wrong about who he saw?
That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard of. You're making that up out of thin air.
Do you truly believe that there is no reasonable doubt?
Yeah, I do.
I beg your pardon, but perhaps you do not understand the term reasonable doubt.
What do you mean I don't understand it? Who do you think you are to talk to her like that? How do you like her? She comes over here running for her life, and before she can even take a deep breath, she's trying to tell us how to run the show. The arrogance of it.
No one is asking where anyone came from,
I was born right here.
or where their parents came from.
Maybe it wouldn't hurt us to take a few tips from people who come running here. Maybe they'd learn something we don't know. We're not so perfect.
Please, it's all right. I'm used to this. Thank you.
It's not all right.
Okay. I apologize. Is that what you want?
That's what I want.
All right, let's stop the arguing. Who's got something constructive to say?
Well, something's been bothering me a little. This whole business about the stab wound, how it was me, the downward angle of it, you know?
Don't tell me we're gonna start that again. They went over it and over it in court.
I know they did, and I don't go along with it. The boy is 5 feet 8 inches tall. His father was 6 feet 2 inches tall. That's a difference of 6 inches. It's a very awkward thing to stab down into the chest of someone who's half a foot taller than you are.
Look, you're not going to be satisfied till you see it again. I'm going to give you a demonstration. Somebody get up. Come on. All right. No, I want you to pay attention to this. I don't want to have to do it again. All right. There, that's 6 inches?
That's more than 6 inches.
Okay, let it be more.
That's never fun. What's the matter with you?
All right, calm down. No one's hurt, are they?
No, nobody's hurt.
Well, there's your ankle. Take a look at it. Down and in. That's how I stab a taller man in the chest, and that's how it was done. Take a look at it and tell me I'm wrong.
Down and in, I guess there's no argument.
Did you ever stab a man?
Of course not.
Did you?
All right, let's not be silly.
Well, did you?
No, I didn't.
Where do you get all your information about how it's done?
What do you mean? It's just common sense.
Have you ever seen a man stab?
No.
Well, then let me ask you this. The boy was sent to reform school for knife fighting and was a very experienced knife fighter, isn't that so?
That's right.
Now look at this. Doesn't it seem like an awkward way to handle a knife?
What are you asking me for?
Wait a minute. Give me the knife.
Did you ever see a knife fight?
Sure I have.
In the movies?
In my backyard, on my stoop, in the vacant lot across the street, too many of them. Switch knives came with the neighborhood where I live. Funny that I didn't think of it before. I guess you try to forget those kind of things. Anyone who's never used a switch knife before would never have stabbed downward. You don't handle a switch knife that way. You use it on the
But then the boy could have made the kind of wound that killed his father.
I suppose it's conceivable that he could have made the wound, but not very likely. Not if he had ever had any experience with switch knives. And we know that he had a lot of experience with switch knives.
I don't believe it.
Neither do I. You're giving us a lot of mumbo jumbo.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I don't know.
Well, what about you?
Listen, I'll tell you something. I'm a little sick and tired of this whole thing already. We're getting nowhere fast. Let's break it up and go home.
Before we decide anything else, I'd like a chance to try to pull this together.
This ought to be good.
He has it right. Want me to tie
Let's hear it.
I'm an advertiser. I'm used to the big guys pulling everything together. Let's chip up a few shots and see if any of them land on the green.
Now I want you all to look at this logically and consistently.
We have guilties.
Now, I want to know, is the boy smart, or is the boy dumb?
What do you mean?
Now, this is a boy who was sent to reform school for knife fighting. The night of the murder, he admitted buying a knife, a switch knife. And it would then take a very stupid man to go and kill someone, his father, with an instrument that everyone would associate with the kid.
I quite agree. He's dumb.
However, if you were dumb, then why did he make the kind of wound that an inexperienced man would make with a knife?
I'm not sure I understand.
To kill someone must take a great emotion, a great hatred. And at that moment, he would handle the knife as well as he could. A trained knifer would handle the knife as he was trained, underhand, while a man who had not been trained would go overhand. But the boy is being very smart. Everyone knows that he's an experienced knife fighter. So he makes the kind of wound that would lead us to believe that he didn't do it. That man is a smart man. Smart enough to wipe away all the fingerprints, and perhaps even smart enough to wait until an L train was going by to cover the nose. Now I want to know, is the kid smart or is the kid dumb?
Just what are you giving us here?
Now, the L train was going by, and it's a possibility that someone saw the murder, but no one did that we know of. So it would take a dumb man, a very stupid man, a man who was swept by emotion, to commit the murder while that L train was going by. He probably couldn't even hear anything. He probably didn't know the train was coming. And we know that whoever committed the murder did it as well as they were able to. Now, the boy was stupid enough to do everything to associate himself with a switch knife murder. And a moment after the murder, he becomes smart. Smart enough to make the kind of wound that would lead us to suspect someone else. And yet at the same instant, he's dumb. Dumb enough to commit the murder while an L train is going by. And then, a moment later, he again becomes smart. Smart enough to wipe away all the fingerprints. To make the boy guilty, you have to say that he's dumb from about 8 o'clock till midnight. Then about midnight, he gets smart for about 1 second. Then he becomes dumb. Then he becomes smart for a few seconds. And then he again becomes dumb. So dumb that he can't even think of a good alibi. Now, to make this boy guilty, you have to flip his intelligence like a pancake. There's doubt, doubt, doubt.
I hadn't thought of that.
And the old man downstairs. On the stand, he absolutely swore that it was 15 seconds. He insisted on 15 seconds. But we know that it was closer to 40.
Does the old man lie half the time? And then does he tell the truth the other half of the time?
Right. To make the boy guilty, you have to say that he's smart, then dumb, then smart, then dumb, and so on. And also to make the boy guilty, you have to say that the old man lied half of the time, and that the other half of the time he must have told the truth. You can reasonably doubt.
I'm sold on this one out.
I think I am too. I wanted more talking. Now I've had it.
I'd like another vote.
All right, there's been another vote called for. And the quickest way would be a show of hands. All those voting not guilty, please raise your hand. Guilty? The vote is 9-3 in favor of acquittal.
I don't understand you people. How can you possibly believe the boy is innocent, knowing what he is? Look, you know how those people lie. I don't have to tell you about it. Hey, and they don't need any real reason to go out and murder someone either. They get drunk and faint. Someone's lying in the gutter. But we don't blame them. It's just the way they are. You know what I mean? They're violent. Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Hey, what's going on? Look, these people, they're drinking and fighting all the time. And if someone gets killed, so somebody gets killed. They don't care. Oh, sure, there are some good things about it, too. Look, I'm the first to admit that. Actually, I've known a few of them who are pretty decent. But that's the exception. The rest of them, it's like they have no feelings. They can do anything. Hey, I'm speaking my piece. You go back and listen to me. What's going on? Look, these people, they're no good. There's not one of them who's any good. We better watch out. This kid on trial, I'm trying to tell you something. Listen to me.
I've had enough. If you say one more word, I'm gonna split your skull.
But I was trying to tell you something.
All right, everybody, let's sit down. I still believe the boy is guilty. I'll tell you why. To me, the most condemning piece of evidence was given by the woman across the L tracks, who claimed she actually saw the murder committed.
That's right. As far as I'm concerned, that's the most important testimony.
All right, let's go over her testimony. What exactly did she say?
I believe I can recount it accurately. She said she went to bed at about 11 o'clock that night. Her bed is next to the open window, and she could look out the window while lying down and see directly into the window across the street. She tossed and turned for over an hour, unable to sleep.
That's just what I'm saying. That's the whole story.
Frankly, in view of this, I don't see how you can vote for acquittal. What do you think?
Well, maybe. But there's just so much evidence to sift.
What do you mean, maybe? You can throw out all the other evidence.
While I don't deny the validity of the points that this man has made, shall we say that on one side of the tracks there's doubt? But what can you say about the story of a woman? She saw it. What time is it?
About 25 minutes after 8.
Don't suppose they'd let us go home and finish this in the morning.
Not a chance.
Can't you see the clock without your glasses on?
Not clearly.
Oh,
Glasses are a nuisance, aren't they?
well, what do you do at night when you wake up and want to know what time it is?
Put on my glasses and look at the clock. I just lay in bed and wait for the clock to chime. My father gave it to me and my husband when we got married. We've waited 10 years to find a place to put it.
Do you wear your glasses to bed?
Of course not. No one wears eyeglasses to bed.
Well, what about the woman who testified that she saw the murder? She wore glasses. What about her?
Did she wear glasses?
Of course. She wore bifocals. I remember this very clearly. They looked quite strong.
That's right, bifocals. She never took them off.
Now, I think we agree that the woman wouldn't have worn her glasses to bed. And I also think that she wouldn't have put them on to glance casually out the window. Now, the woman testified that she saw the murder the instant she looked out the window, and a moment later the lights went out. She wouldn't have had time to put on her glasses. Now, perhaps the woman honestly believes that she saw the boy murder his father. But I say she only saw a blur.
How do you know what she saw? Maybe she's farsighted. How does he know all these things?
Does anyone here still think there is not a reasonable doubt?
I'll always wonder, but I guess there's a reasonable doubt.
I think he's guilty.
Does anybody else?
No, I'm convinced now. There is a reasonable doubt.
You're alone.
11 not guilty. 1 guilty.
I don't care if I'm alone or not. I have a right.
Yes, you have a right.
Well, I told you. I think he's guilty. What more do you want?
Your argument.
I gave you my arguments.
We're not convinced. We're waiting to hear them again. We have time.
Come on. What's the matter with you? You're the one. You made all the arguments. You can't turn now. A guilty man is going to be walking the streets, a murderer. You can't turn now. Come on, stay with me.
I'm sorry. I'm convinced. There is a reasonable doubt in my mind. I don't think I'm wrong often, but I guess I was this once.
We're waiting.
You're not going to intimidate me. I'm entitled to my opinion. It's going to be a hung jury. That's it.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that except hope that some night, maybe in a few months, why, you might get some sleep.
You're all alone. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone.
If it is a hung jury, there will be another trial, and some of us will point these things out to the various lawyers.
All right.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Even though it was such a beautiful night, all right, we really appreciate it. We have some people to thank here tonight. First, we'll thank our director, Mr. Hanson, for all the work he put in and for putting up with us for so long. Mr. Kasalki, Josh Burkholz, and Jeremy Wood.